Okay, this is going to be a quick demo of the calorie counting watch by Fitness Wizard. This watch not only is a regular wristwatch, but it also functions as it will take your pulse by means of this infrared sensor up here. And it also has the unique ability to be able to calculate how many calories you've burned in a given exercise session based on some calculations that it does with the internal microprocessor. So before I get to that stuff, I'm going to show you the basics of the watch. It takes time just like a regular watch. It shows the date and the day, the month and the day. It also has military time, so if you hit the start-stop button down here, it switches over to 24-hour clock, or military time. It also has, if we switch over here, it has an alarm. You set the alarm by holding down the set button. Okay, hit the mode button, and now we're at the chronograph, or the stopwatch screen. It operates like a regular stopwatch. You hit the start-stop button, and it will start. It'll count up, but it counts in hundredths of a second. So you can hit stop, and then if you want to clear the screen, you just hit reset. Okay, hit the mode button again, and we get to the exercise feature, which is the coolest feature about this watch. We'll get to that in a minute. The first thing I'm going to show you here is the pulse screen. This is a screen you go to if you want to check your pulse at any given time. So what you do is you hold the set button down, and then it'll say touch sensor. So then you just put your finger up here on the sensor, just touch it lightly, and it'll start. You'll see a heart beating in the corner over there, and that's an actual live view of my heart. Okay, my heart rate is 63. Now the watch comes with a set of instructions that are really easy to read. They're really easy to understand. You might want to read through them real quick in addition to watching this demo. The first thing you're going to want to do when you get your watch, you're going to want to set it. So you hold down the set button, and it'll start blinking the year at you. You set the year by holding by pressing the start-stop button down here. So you can set it to whatever year it is. Go to the next setting by hitting set. Then you can set the month. So it shows the month all the way up to 12, which is December. There's January, February, March, April. So whatever month it is, let's pretend like it's August. And then also the day. Obviously you can set the day here, August 31st, all the way down to the 1st. I'll set it for the 5th. Okay, and then the hour is self-explanatory. 5 p.m., 5:30, I don't know, 5:40 p.m. let's say. Okay, then the birth year, that's really important. You want to make sure when you're doing this that you set the birth year, whatever year you were born, because when the watch does calculations based on, for how many calories that you're burning in a session, it needs to know this information. So you set the year, and then you can set the month and the day of your birth. Okay, then put in whether you're a male or female. Okay, so I'm going to put it on male. And then your weight, also an important factor. However much you weigh, you can hold the button down and it'll go really fast. I put on a few pounds over the last 6 months or so. So I'm going to set mine at 190. I'm 6'2" though, so that's not too bad. Okay, so once all the watch is set, now when you do your exercising in order to count your calories from the exercise screen, which I'm going to show you here in a minute, then the watch will use all those parameters that you set in addition to how long you exercise and your heart rate to determine how many calories you burned in a given session. So it's really neat. So we're going to get to that right now. Okay, so as this is a calorie counting watch, what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you a demonstration of how you can use this watch to determine how many calories you've burned in a given exercise session. You use the mode button to go over to the exercise screen. Once you get here, you start exercising. Once you start exercising, you want to hit the start button. So we're going to start exercising session now. We're going to go exercise for a little while. We'll come back and we'll finish this demo. Okay, so here we go. I'm going to hit the start button, and I'm going to start exercising right now. I'm going to take the watch with me, and we're going to go for a walk, jog, and we'll be back in a little bit. So stay tuned. Okay, we're back. We only exercised for about a little over 8 minutes, but I'm just being lazy today. So when you're done with your exercise session, you hit the start-stop button, and that stops your time. Then what you do is you hit the set button, and it'll show a little heart at the top of the screen. And at this screen you hold the set button down for about 2 seconds. And it says touch sensor, so you put your finger, one of your fingers on the sensor button. It'll register your pulse. Just taking it a second to get an accurate reading. There it goes. Okay, and then when you're done, it'll say 32, well, for me it says 32, followed by CA, which is the number of calories that I burned during that session. It does that based on all the parameters that you put in as far as your age, your weight, your sex, how long you worked out, how hard you worked out. Also on the screen will be a set of bars indicating what workout zone you exercised in. One bar being the lowest zone. That's where I was at.